Saw some... Oh! Oh!
Took you long enough.
So, I don't know what's gonna happen in this update. I'm mostly blind on that front just like last time. What I do know, however, is something significant is supposed to happen. Also, Grizz has been unusually eager for this update in particular. He even called me out by name in Discord. I'm a bit scared, but also excited, but also scared. Let's just dive into this before I overthink what I've already overthunk. What do you think you're doing? I have no idea what I just walked in on, but I'm gonna love it, I can tell already.
Just eating breakfast.
That better not have been the last box, Roswell.
Don't know why you're kicking up such a fuss over it, Mr. Hammond.
Why, you little Benson!
Is that a problem?
There won't be as long as there's another box remaining.
I am loving this dynamic. Yes, I'm telling you, you're picking one today.
If you're lucky.
Oh boy, what are you two talking about? Oh, Dave, I already know what they're talking about.
Nothing important.
Yep, nothing important. Geez, you have a long way to go. As I entered, I looked at Benson, who was off to the side, watching Oswin dug around the pantry. Pay no mind to him, Master Dave.
That boy's lucky there was another box.
Perhaps this is a sign you should have leave the children's cereal for the children, sir?
I'm a grown man. If I want sugar cereal for breakfast, then I'll have it.
But what about your teeth? Or eggs?
Eggs?
He does have a point, sir. Scrambled eggs is something magical.
Chocolate cake.
You're not having chocolate cake for breakfast. I'm loving this conversation. Yeah, you said that Roswell was being slippery and Oswin would have throttled him if you caught him, right?
He moves faster than I give him credit for.
Oh! 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 That could explain a lot, actually. What happened on the bad timeline now is making sense. Oswin's reaction is making sense now.
A few inches later.
I looked around at the trees before glancing back at the house. If I wandered further in, maybe I could have some alone time, right? Dave, are you just walking into the forest? I mean, I'm all for this. Hopefully we run into the shed. But still, I'm both concerned where this is going to lead, and also really excited. Oh, this is farther into the woods than we've ever gone. From what I could tell, this clearing by the river seemed to be a makeshift campsite.
It's happening!
You know, it's funny. Nothing in this game, nothing with any of the other characters, really gets to me on an emotional level. But when it involves David, that's when it gets me. That's when the story hits me. I really hope my theory of David is right. I wonder what would happen if I drowned right here. If this was the place I died. Before I knew it, I was standing up and slowly walking towards the water's edge. You know, I'm really hoping eventually the rest of the cast will find out Dave has tried to kill himself during all of this. Twice now, for that matter. I've said this for like 3 videos now, but there has got to be some sort of healing soon. Dave is not going to make it much longer if things don't change. I stepped on something solid but smooth, enough to make me look down to see what it was. A thick glass syringe. A glass syringe. In the sunlight, I caught the glint of something half buried underneath some fallen leaves. Kneeling down, I picked up what that was too, assuming another needle, but instead it was a bottle. The crack theories are really flying in my head right now. Oh boy! I've been waiting for this for so long. I am ready. Something gave me the impression I was being watched. I didn't really want to go inside the building. No, Dave, go inside! Looking behind me to see if I was being followed, I ducked behind the doorway and tried to stay out of sight. Reaching inside my pocket, I held onto the syringe, reminding myself that I had something in way of a weapon, just in case if things went sour. I have no idea what voice to give you. I'm mildly concerned that was the first thought that came into my mind. Where the heck are we? Colder as I ventured further in, like I was heading more underground too. What the heck is this? Okay, I'm not really attuned to like old machinery and stuff, but whatever this is not powered by a water mill, I'm pretty sure. Hello? Footsteps light, but somewhat clumsy maybe. Gripping the syringe tightly, I waited. I'm not gonna lie, I'm legit scared to click. I let out a breath that I didn't realize I'd been holding, figuring I must have misheard them leaving. Okay, I'll admit, that legit scared me. When I came back outside, it seemed darker, and I wasn't exactly sure how long I'd been out for. How late is it?
About 6.
Oh, hello. I stared at the hair, unsure what to make of things. I had no idea Keisuke was in this game. Sorry, but that's the best joke I could come up with in this situation.
Yeesh, watching you has been a hoot, but I didn't think you'd be so flighty. More on edge than any game out here, that's for sure.
Game? Animals?
Got it in one.
Osman let himself be killed.
Got it in one. My master was stabbed clean.
Okay.
And what's hyena like yourself doing this far out,
I'm not that lost, Mr.
Oh, me? I'm nobody, but call me Jack.
Jack. As in Jackrabbit.
Didn't think you'd scare so easy out here by yourself.
There's just been a lot going back at the house, and I probably shouldn't get into it.
Recluse lives there with his butler. The story is he got a machine in the basement. You wouldn't happen to have seen it given you're living there, have you?
Oh, you mean, Dave, you...
So it does exist. Hard to remember talk of time machines someone's built.
I holding in my excitement, holding it in, struggling to hold it in. Well, maybe I should see if I could get it working when I'm back at the house next. Dave, what are you... I swear I want to slap this hyena sometimes.
You hit your head pretty hard, Dave. Maybe I should take you back where you're staying so you can rest.
Stranger danger was a thing that I had been taught as a kid, and it didn't really sink in now as to what that had meant. No kidding! That was... something. The sound of a twig snapping nearby made me look up. Oh! I thought I'd lost you. I thought you went the other way.
Well, you know me. Guess I just got lost.
What is your game? You are very clearly not lost.
What are you, an idiot? Oh well, I don't mind a messy job when the pay's still good.
When the pay is still good.
What I mean is that I've been out here for a week bored out of my mind and I want to have a little fun. So get running, Dave.
I felt a chill run down my spine as I heard Jack somewhere behind me calling out in a sing-song sort of tune.
Dave, run as fast as you can.
I think I know what killed Tyson now.
You're gonna have to do better than that, Dave.
I tried to lose him the last little bit through the trees, but almost choked as he grabbed the back of my shirt, pulling me backwards and then into a tree. It wasn't much of an upside, but at least I'd be able to find my body easily. Oh! The sound of a gunshot made us both jump. Dave! Looking up, I could see Dean skid to a halt. We could discuss this later. Get the boy inside. Set him down, Dean. It's alright, Dave. You're safe now. We were in danger. They were all in danger, and it was my fault. Dave, listen to me. I need you to tell me where the rabbit went. It's very important. Where did he go? In a flash, Osmond pulled something from his coat and thrust it against my neck, the sound of air escaping indicating something happened. Osmond, you freaking ejected me again! What did you do? Something I was saving for the rabbit, but this should help put Dave at ease. Did you just freaking trank me? You freaking... Well played, Chris. Well played. I don't even... Look, I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? I'm looking at my recording audio while this is happening right now. I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes in silence trying to process what just happened. A lot has happened in the last 5 minutes, and this is the good timeline. This is the freaking good timeline. How on earth is anything normal going to happen from this point forward? There's supposed to be a pool scene with Oz later. Everyone's relaxing, everyone's having fun. They're gonna be doing things. There's supposed to be a freaking surprise party for Dave, if I remember correctly. It's like, what the? Someone has fired a gun. There is a rabbit in the forest that tried to kill us. This is not, nothing is going to be sane after this. How? Okay. While I take a minute to catch my breath after that, while my audio processes, I'm going to look up whatever that vial contained. We only got part of the name, but I'm imagining there probably isn't a whole lot of diseases out there that have the word cryptoc in them. Cryptococcosis. Cryptococcosis is caused by a fungus known as Cryptococcosis neoformans. The infection may spread to humans through contact with pigeon droppings or unwashed raw fruit. Okay, this is interesting, especially considering it's a fungal infection, but I'm not seeing anything related to death. So, I'm not sure what that means. I really can't wait for that UI upgrade. After last night, I could do with my own coffee. Although watching this guy smack Dean across the face was a sight to see. Oh, you're the one that hit him, Roswell. That's even more impressive. Yeah, he just snapped and got him in the nose. Dave? Oh, hello, Dean. What do you want? Sorry, I didn't, what I mean is just that I'm here for you. After last night with what we all saw, I'm here for you. Dean, I can trust you, right? I don't have to suspect you of killing anyone, right? Yeah, okay, we'll play this game for now. Of course you don't. Are you scared of me? I don't blame you for being unsure of everything given last night and all. Just, if you decide you need me, I'll be around. Dang it, Dean, you're making me feel bad for all the things I said about you in the .23 video.
Eventually.
Wait, what? That didn't happen. This didn't happen on my I mean, I don't trust him to begin with. So, for all I knew, Jack was up to something. I don't know what it was, or if it involved me, but I didn't trust him including the directions back to the house. Are we about to find the shack? How did I miss this? As I rubbed my nose, I caught the sound of Jack somewhere far off. He seemed to be talking with someone, but I couldn't make out the specifics. What? There's someone else out here. There's someone else freaking out here. Okay. Time out. Okay, so Jack said he was being paid by someone. He made that abundantly clear. There are only two parties that we know of that could do that. First one's Orlando's family, but why would a dragon mafia send a rabbit? That doesn't make any sense. The only other party that would make sense would be Florencia. But she... Wait. If she was here, that would mean that she... That would make sense. That would make sense. That fits every angle. It's freaking Florencia. He was talking to freaking Florencia. If Florencia is there, that means that she's staying in the cabin, which is close enough to the manor that she could go in and get in there undetected. That's also why Oz died the way he did, because he didn't react because he knew her. That's also why she's been killing random people to screw with the morphic resonance device, because she thinks it's a time machine and she can help Reginald. And that's why Jack called it a time machine. She thinks she's gonna get magical powers from this thing. That's also why Benson died the way he did, because she placed Oz's revolver in there to frame her own brother. This also explains why she would react to Dave, because she would have known of David's involvement. And of course Jack wouldn't know about us. And that's why he's about to come after us. Because he told Florencia there was a hyena here. Because he told her about Dave being a hyena, and she only knew another hyena that was David, and she knew his involvement in the device. That's also why she hired an assassin anyway, and to deal with Benson, who's also an assassin. It makes sense that you're a rabbit too, because of what Oz said. Florencia probably hired you to freaking screw with him. It's all falling into place. It all makes sense. It all freaking makes sense. I don't know what I did in this timeline, but why didn't I get this bit before? Oh, I'm so happy!
Nothing to be alarmed about. It's just a man pointing a bull tranquilizer at a coworker.
You do not learn, do you? For a threat to be credible, you have...
Holy
No, you didn't. I'm sick of you and your...
It's all right. Andy approved it.
Saying I'm not sure what's in the update is becoming redundant at this point. All I know is there are apparently 8 CGs in this update. Grizz also informed me that I, and I quote, might not be able to make a video for this update. I'm not scared, but I am concerned. Despite what Grizz said, the last update ended on a serious cliffhanger and it's been driving me nuts. So I'm pretty certain whatever I'm about to experience is gonna be a ride. Oh, good grief. We have days on literally every route now. This is gonna take forever to edit. And then Hoyt said, why the long face? You know, cause he was a horse. Because horses have long faces. Yeah, David, we get it. Dad, where are we? In the woods.
Hello, Dave. Shall we pick up where we left off?
No, you can screw right off. How about that? I sat up suddenly in bed. Oh, hello, Oz. I should also apologize for injecting you as I did. It'd be a shame that after Benson intervened. Your bedside manner is great for a doctor. I'm not helping, I know. No kidding! The others demanded I apologize, but I answered to no one. Well, except for Benson, when I feel so inclined. Which I should say is a good thing, given with Benson around, no harm shall come to you. I can't say why, but I can promise that's the truth. You can't say what? Dude, we know! Benson was an assassin! You have openly said this already. What happened? Oh, you know, we just went for a bit of a jog. Not of our own volition, granted. Good times. Good times, Oz. Dave, if the vault works the way it did, and you hadn't seen something that marked this event, then perhaps this wasn't traumatic enough. This wasn't traumatic enough, but you surprising me with an injection was. Or more accurately, this could just be the result of someone else intervening. Okay, fine, you get a pass on that one. Okay, well, bye then, I guess. Dave? Oh God, why are you on the floor? Come on, let's Let's head downstairs. Okay, showtime.
Oh, hey there, Oz. You got some splaining to do, buddy. I didn't notice it last update, but everyone else pointed out afterwards that you went AWOL when Keisuke hit the fan. I want answers, Top Cat.
All right, there's no easy way to say this, Dave. But what happened yesterday? That's not funny.
You make a show of going off and no one caring, and then you do it again yesterday and almost die coming back. I know, this was my idea and all, but I didn't think you'd grail him so hard when you agreed, Oz. It's bad enough that our phone reception has been cut for whatever reason. Oh, good. That has happened. Okay, check that off the list. So tell me then, Hoss, has the road exploded yet? Well, Dave, mind explaining this? In plain view of everyone, Hoss set down the syringe and bottle I found in the woods on the table. Oh, great, this is gonna look like it was ours.
What in the world? How did you get this?
Please tell me that wasn't what fell out of Dave's pocket. Dave, talk to us. Did you try to? Oh, good. I mean, this isn't exactly how I expected this to come up, but good, this is happening.
Suicide.
Oh, that stings. You know, I get that everyone is really good friends with Dave. I understand that. It still strikes me as odd, however, when I think back not only to this moment, which the exact same scenario is happening, but also to Benson's bad ending, where Dave just manages to speak up and then suddenly everyone just drops what they're doing. Oh, we're about to... Oh boy.
So what are your plans for tonight?
Well, if Ty's coming over, are we getting dinner for him too?
You could just shoot him a message on your phone.
His house is only just down the street.
Fine, but don't go getting hit by a car, or talk to strangers, or get lost, or set anything on fire.
It's like Dave's an alien, my word. He's acting nothing like what we've seen him throughout this entire story, wow.
All right, boys, I'm off.
That night went as well as it could have up to a point. Chances were that we'd be up until the early hours of the morning, but I was keen on seeing him again. Threw open the door to greet him home. But he normally switched the lights off before coming inside. Something was wrong, but maybe it was just to say Dad had to stay late. Hoyt told me that Dad wouldn't be coming home. There was a shooting and Dad had been hit. My dad was dead. Why did he have to? It was like a dam burst, and my face became wet with every tear I hadn't shed since he died. I want my dad. I want... Kick me while I'm down, why don't you, Grizz? Suppose I called it from a couple videos ago. My heart had been breaking for over a year, and now I felt like I was holding what broken pieces were left in my hands. But slowly, I started to realize that maybe I'll be okay. Maybe not right away, but maybe someday. Well done, Grizz. Well done. All of that happened so much faster and sooner in this story than I was expecting it to. Which leaves me wondering what the heck is gonna happen now. I feel almost bad that I'm gonna go on to the bad timelines now.
20 minutes later.
Okay, I've taken a break, I've eaten mac and cheese, and I've had time to process all this. While my audio was processing, I went and replayed the whole sequence of Dave remembering how his father died. And that... No. Okay. I have had a theory about David for a long time, and everything that just happened was part of my theory. This isn't over. Everything with David? No. This is not over. This is not over by a long shot. Also, Grizz, hurry up with that UI. Look at this. Look at this file structure. Look at this name. I didn't even watch The Good Place. Okay, I think we're on the right timeline. Don't worry, Dean. Sal just wants to ask you a question. Welp, I'm going on the bad timeline right now, so, I swear, Sal, it's nothing personal. You really gotta make me click it twice. Oh boy, here we go. You know, the problem with all these timelines is it's getting harder and harder to figure out where all the stragglers of the story are.
Couldn't sleep?
Something like that.
I'm going to check on your friend. It's a shame, isn't it?
What is?
The world seems to keep moving after such a tragedy. That you're forced to watch the world go by as you grieve, cope, and before you know it, your life is taken up by wondering what if.
As I lagged behind, the smell of chlorine grew stronger, and with it the taint of the air from earlier. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but can't say I didn't expect that. Don't act so surprised, Dave. You did it. Well, actually, I chose it, but still. I like the noticeable difference in how Oz reacted to Sal's death compared to that of Dean and Roswell's.
Sal's pathing creates some problems, solves others.
What problem does it solve? He's dead.
Benson, what's your take on this?
Do we know the assailant?
I wasn't at liberty to perform an autopsy in front of the boy, Benson.
I really like how Benson can just pull a Mrs. Fredrickson anytime he wants. If literally even one person on this server gets that reference without Googling it, I'll be impressed. I don't believe you. He can't be dead.
Given I just performed something of an autopsy on him, believe me, I can confirm his passing.
There's no easy way to put this, but from his wounds on his body and a knife I found at the scene, they were self-inflicted.
Huh. So Sal actually did do that to himself. Honestly, I feel like that's a missed opportunity for a more poetic death of drowning, but okay.
Additionally, I ran some tests on his blood. It didn't take long as I had my suspicions of what to look for. His immune system is quite interesting.
Ah, the sleeping medication. There it is.
The label and its contents, as I've tested, is a compound known as sodium matobarbital.
That's the same stuff you injected us with!
Given Sal's unique immune system, in any case, the hypnotic side effect of the drug would have been amplified.
So, wait a minute, that would mean that whoever was hypnotizing Sal would have known about his immune system prior, because otherwise they would just go after Dean instead.
Not taking a chance, Dave and I are out of here.
I can't say that's very smart.
Resourceful. I'll take it you have the rest of it thoroughly handled. You want to stick around in case something else happens? I'm scared that might be in more danger with you than without. Tell me about the last time I did wrong by you.
I mean, I would, Ty, but I don't have the patience to explain quantum physics to you.
I'd realized that Tyson didn't really know where he was going, but eventually we stopped at a river for another break while Tyson checked his phone for something. The temperature started to drop and we both froze when we heard a twig snap.
Oh, come on. Look, it was the old guy's job to be patient. Why we gotta wait?
Wait, that doesn't... Is that Jack? The old guy's job to be patient. You know, if Jack is really as good at sneaking around as he is, he's really bad at stepping on twigs. Seriously, these snapping twigs are becoming a running gag at this point. Ty?
No tie here. Bit formal to be wearing a tie out here. Got enough of that back at the den.
The den?
But we don't need to worry about that.
Well, you're straight to the point this time, aren't you, Jack?
I've always wanted a nice rug.
Bird up.
In a flash, Ty rushed past me and tackled the rabbit to the ground, the pair of them struggling for the knife.
Dave, get out of here!
Despite Ty yelling, I was stunned, watching them tussle almost violently. Almost violently? There was something primal in me that clicked and I ran. Each step accompanied by a terrified whine, and in the dark I had no idea where I was going. We hadn't gotten anywhere. I had no idea how late it was, but I was tired. You came back? Where's Tyson? Well, Hoss, me and Tyson went on a magical adventure, but then Peter Cottontail showed up with a knife. So, you know, good times all around. I mean, let's be honest, what else could have happened? We went into the woods at night. Tyson's fine, he's probably fine.
Wake up!
Oh, Oz, okay. I thought this day was over.
You're back when I assumed you were dead. Did you run into Benson out there?
Benson was out in the woods.
He didn't seem keen on you two heading out off there with any sort of protection, although he's yet to return. Will you understand my worries? I'll let you get to your sleep.
That whole deal with Jack has literally been the first thing to crack my theory of Florencia. Maybe cracked is not the right word. My immediate gut reaction is that this has utterly destroyed my theory. But when I think about it, maybe it hasn't. Unless Florencia literally just turns up dead, I'm almost positive that she is 100% involved at this point, in some shape or form. Based on what Jack said, it's pretty clear that Memphis is somehow involved in this. I mean, I expected him to become involved at some point, but he almost sounds like the mastermind now. It still doesn't make any logical sense though, just based on the meta-knowledge we know of Memphis. He's a gun-loving, misogynistic moron. Not to mention he's a freaking dragon, the head of a dragon mafia who can breathe fire. Why on earth would anyone, even dim-witted like him, hire the March Hare to do his dirty work? I'm running out of rabbit puns. If you're in the mafia, you keep it in the family business. It's too early to call, but in the end, I don't think my theory about Florencia has really been shaken that much. But it's definitely got another angle now. I don't... So, normally when I record these videos, I start with the good timeline and work my way backwards to the bad. Typically because the good timeline tends to have the most story pertaining to the mystery. However, Grizz explicitly asked me last night to start with the B timeline this time around, so... what can I say? Gotta listen to what the boss wants. Also, last update, Dave said that Oz said that something was going to happen this day, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what that was. Only thing I know that might happen from my notes isn't set to rear its head until day 18, so we're safe on that front for now. You know another reason we need that new UI soon? After the last update, we technically now have A, B, C, D, E, and F timelines. So since Sal's fate is up in the air based on our choices, Grizz now has to account for 2 more timeline variations solely on that alone. I'd say it's pretty likely Sal's contracted Telltale syndrome at this point, because if there's one thing I've learned from characters that can potentially get killed off in Telltale games, Sal's future might be limited at best. When I opened my eyes again? Dave, I thought we were past this. Part of me wondered why I was still having dreams. Thank you. Good morning, Benson. Oh wait, this is the B timeline. Right, Oz is dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I hit a nerve. I'll show you, Dave. It should be fun.
I'm no stranger to death after all. Then later, can I ask you some questions? Something else happened while you were gone, and then I should make time for you later.
You know, on a side note of things concerning Jack from the last update, I thought a lot about what we overheard from him say in the woods, and I've got 2 running theories now that's connecting him to the nobles and all that. The first theory, if I'm right, is gonna be a devilishly sick twist that's really going to sting Oz and explain a lot, connecting a lot of things together, including Oz's hate of rabbits, the nobles, and Florencia herself all in one go. Or it could be that thing that was joked about by a few people on the server, to which Grizz then did his classic little more than :3C as a response, and might end up being nothing more than an underwhelming fan service and a complete coincidence. So I'm hoping for the prior.
I had a question. For who? For Dave.
I love how polite Sal is when he wants to ask something.
What would you like to do today?
Before anything else, I knew I very least wanted to check in with Benson. With Oswin gone, he was the only one around that might have any answers. Besides that, I had a certain rat to appease.
If you decide you want to watch a movie later, you're welcome to join us.
Was it really alright to be watching a movie at this time? Well, I don't know, Dave. There's only a dead person in the house and a murderer outside. I mean, that sounds like a great time to watch a movie to me. Wandering over the back door, I felt my fur tingle the closer I got. Can't do it, huh? Can't do what? I caught you standing at the back door. No wonder after what happened. I appreciate the attempt you're trying to do, Haas, but you're really not helping that much. So, how are you feeling after last night? Now that I think about it, where were you? Good! Thank you, Dave! I was asking this question the last time. Cowering in the side room under a desk. Oh. Really, Haas? That's a lot more underwhelming than I was hoping. It's not a lie. I was in the side room and only came out after the arguing started about you being drugged into unconsciousness because I thought I was at my old school. Oh. Oh, we're going there. Oh, we're going there. Okay. Next was the acting gig. It seemed neat, but if I wanted to audition, I'd need to head to the other side of the country. That same week, the school had an intruder. Of all the things that could happen in Haas's past is just, I'm kind of stunned more than anything. You know, Civ asked the question a couple days ago, who in the cast we would trust with a gun? A lot of people said Dave, but I'm kind of regretting that I chose Haas.
The one with the space bunny. Which is that one?
Is this gonna be another movie reference that I'm not gonna understand for like 4 months?
Oh, Dave, you here for the movie?
Hold up, what were you two talking about?
Anime. Great, that's gonna set him off.
Space Bunny?
6.5 hours later.
Oh, we're just diving right into this. Okay. A week ago, I think, Oswin contacted me after I used the vault to tell me a warning, I guess. Master Oswin was fascinated that Dave could get the vault to work, and gave him a choice between staying and keeping all of his friends alive or leaving with his own. Excuse me, what did you say? Well, there are reasons one might wish to do harm. Any particular reason doesn't stand out above all others. I would argue that, Benson, but I'll let you have the floor. There may be more avenues available to us, so long as we know who we're dealing with. The rabbit, he was after it too, or was interested anyway. Called it a time machine. Okay, bye, Benson. Dang it, don't you hate it when people just pop out of existence? I'd never seen Benson so angry. Tell me about it. This has Memphis Noble written all over it.
How bad is it?
Combine equal parts of stupidity, greed, and a penchant for firearms tomfoolery, and I needn't explain further what a danger the man is. Dang, Benson, that was a sentence. That's my dad you're talking about. Oh no. Orlando, look out! So would it be a stretch to say that we're in danger so long as Orlando's dad doesn't have the vault? It would appear that way, yes. So many questions left unanswered, and the person that held the most answers was now dead. My only hope that Benson knew a lot more than I assumed he did. Good evening, Dave. Benson. Hello. Glad to see you exist again. Would now perhaps suit you for a chat, or at the very least accompany me somewhere. All things considered, I would rather not reveal the laboratory to your friends just yet. You wanted to go back there? You must have been quite in a state to leave the door open. I freaking knew it! I knew I remembered that right! It was open when I got there, and yet you did not close it when you left. He reached over and did something to the wall, a doorway opening leading into a dark passage. What for us both, I believe what answers we lie seek within a certain rat. Oh good! I get to do my Thanatos voice. I could hear Benson's footsteps ahead of me as we walked through the hallway. A putrid smell lingering on the air, not nearly as strong as what it had been before in the lab itself, but it was there. Hello again, Oz. You know, Benson, I'm surprised you didn't do anything with the body. Thanatos, come out. I know you're here.
So you're both back, huh? Learned anything yet?
There was some chittering laughter that echoed through the lab. My eyes were trained to spot where he was.
An assassin turned butler and the son of a police officer investigating the death of an old man by all rights gave up long ago. Missed me?
Not overly, you repugnant rodent.
You're no fun. Didn't I tell you to figure out what happened?
So far, I haven't made much progress.
You tell me, Benny boy. Or rather tell Junior here. You already know who killed him after all.
What? Benson? I never liked you.
You unnatural, filthy creature. Dave, we're done here.
Oh, for the love!
Benson, what did Thanatos mean that you already knew who killed Oswin? I have my suspicions for a while now, but if we know who, then... Do you know what one of the most important things to Oswin was, Dave?
Why, yes, Benson. Yes, I do know.
Medicine, being a doctor.
Dave, shut up!
Family. An older brother that he idolized and an adopted sister that he loved as if he were his own flesh and blood all the same. I do not know what to make of that. You see, the Hammond line occasionally gives way to, shall we say, gifted individuals. Reginald is dead. Florencia, well, we have bigger problems if she's currently here. Would she kill Oswin? He's her brother. The only person it could would be someone I shall have to deal with personally.
Benson? Please. Please just say the name. We were this close. Benson, we were this close. I was this close!
Grizz, you're killing me! A dull throb somewhere in the back of my head was hinting that something was wrong. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. As my foot hit the bottom step, I froze, feeling the ground vibrate. Oh! Okay, now the road exploded. I was wondering when that was gonna happen. What happened?
That wasn't an earthquake. There'd be a lot more shaking and a lot less noise.
Is everyone alright? I have some crazy news to deliver. Yes, we know, Benson, the road exploded. There's no positive spin I can put on this, so I'll say it plainly. The road that heads down the mountain is no more. Well, all things considered, there's not much we can do about it now. That was a lot to take in. Benson came this close to confirming my theory. I see why Grizz told me to play the B route first. Okay, let's continue. You know, when the new UI gets added, what we really need is a fast forward option. I'm not talking about the skip, mind you, okay? I'm using the skip right now because I don't have any other saves on the B timeline. I'm talking about the fast forward option that's an echo, where when you click it, it simply just skips everything up until the next dialogue choice or unseen text. It makes going through save files so much easier. Seriously, it takes like 5 minutes to, pet the dog. It takes like 5 minutes to get through anything. Can we hang out today? Alright. You remember a week ago, right? Shouldn't have happened. I was only a kid. Oh no. For the longest time, I had hoped that wasn't the case. Oh jeez. Thought, what's the worst thing that happened to me? And what could I do to you? And if you hated me, I could make a clean split and figure myself out. I'm glad this happened. It's nice to see them getting along again. Okay, on to Orlando now. What are you doing? The sound I made was high-pitched shriek. Well, Dave screamed so loud that the game broke. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. Tell me about it. So you wanted to talk. This isn't going to be a nice talk, is it? You kinda left me with a bombshell. I never meant for you to find out that way, you know. From what I got, you never wanted me to find out at all. What I wouldn't give to us, Grandpa. There are a couple of lackeys that aren't, but for the most part, they're all dragon. Really hoping the second theory about Jack is wrong. I swear if you're about to say that, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna hit you across the face like Tyson showed me. What did he teach you that? Not gonna lie, I'm really into Dave asserting his dominance in this conversation. Listen, Dave, take pride in you. Love who you are. And then those that deserve that will just be around. You know, as much as I dislike you, Dean, that was actually a nice statement. I'm sure that respect for you will last for a whole 5 seconds before you make another innuendo. In your dreams, bear. I said a lot of things about Dean in that .23 video. Things that I should have said with more tact. His route really is just a paradox. I have said no to Dean, shoved him away, let Sal hit him, said no in the flashbacks, and it's as if none of my choices matter. Like, I literally only 5 clicks ago said no. I'm not gonna go on a big rant about it like I did in the .23 video, but this is definitely something that I'm gonna be keeping for my review eventually. Should I be questioning the growling? Oh, Sal, don't ever change. I like you. When Abby died, it was because of my own shortcomings. I was scared and she drowned. Once things had become quiet, I was able to snap out of it so I could pull her out of the water, but I already knew she was gone. I remembered something Sal had said once that didn't seem to line up, and without thinking about the consequences, the question left my mouth. What about the shots your parents got for you? Those were an act of greed. I do not remember this at all. You know, I've always thought it's weird. Why is Sal even an option here if it's never available except on his route? I've never understood that.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
You think small and guess who comes out?
I mean, I don't understand, Roswell. Why are bad things happening?
No idea, but I'm also just a dream, so you're better off asking me when you're actually awake.
Even when Dave is sleeping, Roswell breaks the fourth wall. I love it. Why is it that you're sassing me even in my dreams? Dave's starting to think like me.
If you knew this was a dream, why are you expecting any different?
Great, so I know how to color and junk. That's not as good as knowing important stuff.
Important is a funny word. What does it mean if something is important to you but not to someone else?
I didn't realize that I could be so profound while I was asleep. That sounds like a line Basket would write. Oh, that's gonna razz Grizz so much. How long have you been standing there?
Long enough.
And you didn't say anything.
I'd rather not spook you after what happened.
Doesn't stop you from piling onto Orlando.
That's because Orlando's reactions are hilarious.
I frickin' love you, Roswell. I love how sarcastic you are. Okay, good timeline. Oz is alive, everyone's alive. Good morning, Oswin. Morning.
You know, I asked this in the bug reports, and all I got back was a joke. Why the heck is your name blue? Everyone else I see play this game has your name in red. Why is your name blue for me?
The only thing I had in mind was really talking to Oswin. I want to know more about what I found, plus where I went and what it all meant. I looked at Oswin, who seemed amused by something. Everyone knows I've been messing with the vault, right?
Is Dave in that much danger?
Dave is more collateral damage waiting to happen. What Orlando's father is actually after would be the vault downstairs.
Why would a banker want the vault? It takes me off guard every now and then when I'm not on Orlando's route and Dave just asks that question. We're halfway into the game at this point. Dave, get a grip. The guy who, he was interested in the vault but thought it was a time machine.
It is not a time machine, but it being described that way makes it abundantly clear who sent that rabbit.
But it's not a time machine, right?
You're an intelligent boy. You tell me what someone could do with a machine built around quantum mechanics and morphic resonance.
Well, it might not be a time machine, but a machine like that could give you something like psychic powers. Being able to jump between different realities, stuff like that, good stuff.
That's not how it works.
As excited as I was for everything that we learned from Benson on the B route, I honestly like hearing this from Oz more. Maybe it's my love of sci-fi, but I love the technobabble, especially with the fact that I can mostly follow along with it.
But essentially imagine being able to look into the future to where you might be in danger. Imagine how useful that'd be. You said it works on morphic resonance. So if we're looking at this from a pseudoscience principle, instead of a work of science fiction, then anything that's coming across is not even in this timeline.
Freaking
Nice.
I love you, Roswell. This is what I said months ago.
You'll do well to forget about different timelines, boy.
Shut up, Oz. I headed upstairs, figuring I'd make a beeline for the library. What I didn't expect was Oswin to already be there.
Take a seat, Dave. If you don't mind, I'll be going first with my questions. Did you see anyone else out there, or just who you ran into?
Just him. Oh, dang it! That answer would probably be different if I asked Oz about the rabbit before. Dang it, why wasn't that an option to begin with?
And you're sure no one else?
Yes, there is someone else out there. Positive. No, Dave!
Who we're dealing with isn't exactly bright. He only cares about his money and guns. Just a much larger child, really. What?
Nothing.
How far into the woods did you go?
Found an old watermill, went inside trying to avoid him when he was following me the first time.
It's a dangerous place with a lot of very old, very, shall we say, fickle machinery, long since abandoned.
Fickle machinery? The heck kind of sci-fi garbage are you hiding in this place? Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. I totally believe everything you're saying right now. He was right, or at the very least, everything he said made sense, but something in my gut was telling me that I had forgotten something very important.
Rest well, Dave. See you in the morning.
Oh, don't worry, Oz. If everything goes to plan, the road will be exploding in about 10 minutes.
My fellow Americans, I think we all know where this is going, so let's just skip to the end.
Is there anything we should do while we wait? We don't need weapons, will we? I don't believe so. Alright, well, I guess all we can do is wait it out. Benson's going to be alright too, oh, alright, ooh, right. All things considered, I believe he'll be fine.
Whew. That was an update. Jeez, that was a lot. How long have I been recording for? I think Grizz might be trying to kill me. This is all because of my theory of Florencia, isn't it? I know too much. I can't be allowed to live. Despite Benson refusing to say a single freaking name, we learned some very important things this update. I think I like where things are looking. Hold it! I have an important announcement to make! The new save system is here! Look at it! Just look at it! Look at all the colors! Look at all that information! Look at all those save slots!
Look at all those ticking!
It's glorious! I shall never question my saves again! Except for this moment, because I haven't the heckest idea of what anything is yet. Before I dive into the chaos that is the bad timelines, I want to take a second to point something out. This release was supposed to be just a quality of life update. Just an update to the save system and the gallery.
That's it. We weren't supposed to have any story content this month. With how much Grizz sacrifices of himself into this game on a regular basis, especially after nearly 6 hours of content last month, I think I speak for everyone when I say not a single person would have had issue with Grizz taking part of a month off to rest during the holiday season. So it's real admirable of him how much effort he puts into this game, and borderline concerning as a workaholic. Anyway, on to Death and Despair. So I click that, and then I click this, and it's that's so much nicer. It's so easy now. It's so easy.
A few inches later.
Cried. I forgot I can't do the bad route on his day. Dang it, Sal. It took me a few moments to get my bearings, and the moment it sank in where I was, my eyes darted around the room in a panic. We are trapped in a room. Okay.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Sal. Did you lock us in here? Why was the door locked?
Mr. Oswin felt it was appropriate to detain you for your safety after you got back to the house.
He can't do that.
Well, he did.
You know, I gotta admit, I really like Warpath Dave. Stepping out of the backyard, I looked at the trees. I looked at the sky. It all looked so different now that I wasn't running in fear. Probably helps that it's daytime now, too. I heard footsteps approaching me in a measured pace, causing me to freeze. Oh, hello, Benson.
I'm hunting rabbits.
Boy, you just like to pop up at the weirdest times, don't you? Welcome back. Thank you. Great conversation starter. Alas, I have no news to give you, good nor bad. Heading out now would only be a fool's errand. You do not know how to navigate the forest, and no doubt others would rather you stay found than missing. The next move, whether you like it or not, is to take stock of where we're at and make sure everyone is on the same page. But Tyson... Sir, yes, sir. Tell me, why are you here and Tyson isn't? He stopped the rabbit from... Something to bring up when we have a little chat, no doubt.
Everyone here? Good. Bit of a tight spot we find ourselves in, isn't it?
We headed into the forest and got lost. Don't really know how far in, but I guess not very far.
With how you ended up back here, it does seem that way.
The two of us set up camp somewhere, and then this rabbit appeared with a knife.
Excuse me?
Now is not the time, Oswin.
I believe it's worth considering, given a certain individual doesn't take kindly to being told no. Memphis Noble. He didn't seem to like the fact that someone had the gall to say no to a mob boss, but here we are.
Slowly, I turned to look at Orlando. I thought his family were bankers. Dave? This bit is getting old now.
As it turns out, Memphis believed it was quite simply a time machine, a thing that would let him do things over if he so wanted. I told him it wasn't for sale, and he couldn't work it with me dead, so just shooting me was off the table.
He couldn't work it with you dead. I'm gonna just mark that down. So you're implying that Memphis actually did just hire Jack. That's a lot of upper brain function for Memphis, just saying. So where does that leave us?
It's not a good spot to be in. At the very least, a decision needs to be made.
It didn't feel like morale was any higher, just that we now had a goal. That we knew that there was a lunatic rabbit working for a dragon that wanted something he couldn't have. Sounds like a game plan to me, Dave. You know something I recently realized? Over the course of the story, Oz here has purposely deceived and misdirected us on multiple occasions. About pretty important stuff, too. He clearly knew a number of characters before they arrived. Maybe not personally, but still. Then there's the whole deal with David, and that's just a whole other ball of cats I'm not going to get into right now. Point is, it just strikes me as interesting how he somehow commands a level of respect and trust, and no one questions it. Not implying Oz is up to anything nefarious, but it does make me leery of things he's told us lately. Why did you make the vault? Why can I use it? Why was someone marked for death?
The vault was made by the three of us. While it was spearheaded by my older brother and sister, I no doubt was brought on for the more of the intricate understanding of things.
That's the who, not the why.
I finished it myself. Something to remember my older brother by. I assumed the vault could help prevent more than one tragedy.
And the event was?
I can't give you the details. Not yet. But in broad strokes, I can tell you that my interest in getting the vault to work was one to save two very specific people. People who, for the time being, need to remain anonymous.
Of all times, why keep them secret?
I made promises I would keep with my life. Promises that involved their identities to remain a secret until the month is up.
Why through the end of the month? What's so important about this month?
Then perhaps you'll allow me to offer something that may come in handy.
A hunting knife. How the heck did you even find this? I have more questions than answers now. Wait, there's something in the woods. Rushing over, I got closer to the trees, stopping just shy of where I was when I ran into Benson.
Well then, finally caught back up.
You're bold to be out here in broad daylight. Okay, where's Tyson?
Who's Tyson? Oh, the dog. You're gonna be breaking my heart talking like that.
I covered my ears as a single gunshot rang out nearby.
Oh, you don't
double-crossing wabbit, you treacherous miscreant!
Oh, good, Benson's here. Good. Shoot him, or something.
Oh good, the butler is still here. The dog wasn't very helpful figuring that out.
I'm not interested in your games, Rabbit. What reason do we have to believe you're true to what you say?
Why, I'm glad you asked.
Jack pulled out what seemed to be a walkie-talkie and pressed a button. There was a semi-muffled voice on the end of the radio, then a few thuds.
It'd be a shame if anything happened to that guy. But good news! Why don't we make a trade?
I do not believe you are in the position to make such claims.
Come on, Benny boy, just give me the vault.
Benny boy. So far, I haven't made much progress.
You tell me, Benny boy, or rather tell Junior here. You already know who killed him.
What in the ever-loving heck? That's the second time!
Tell you what, maybe I'll see you tomorrow at the watermill. Maybe I won't.
That... Benson, you have a gun. You should have shot him.
Okay, step back for a moment. Let's just review. So, number 1, Jack is confirmed working for Memphis. That's 100%. We kind of already knew that, but that's there. 2, we confirmed that someone else is in the woods with Jack, likely Florencia, but now we know someone is out there for sure. 3, the 2 people who Oz is apparently protecting with the vault are still alive. They somehow got involved with the device a while back. 4, Oz knew who was marked for death from the start. 5, Memphis is the one funding Jack, but believes that he needs Oz alive to use the vault. This is important because Oz can die in some timelines, meaning whoever killed Oz and is actually the mastermind behind all this was clearly not working for Memphis and had their own agenda concerning the vault. I'd say who I think it is, but I get the feeling you already know who I'm going to say. Last, though, is what Jack said. Okay, the first time Jack repeated something Thanatos said, I thought it might have just been by chance. Grizz is one person after all, it's easy enough to see his mannerisms bleed into the cast across the board. But Benny boy, that's very specific. I don't know what to make of it though. Jack and Thanatos? How the heck does that connection work? Okay, we got notes. Let's D timeline, let go. Okay, we're still locked in our room. Great. Rushing over my bag, I tried to look for anything. A loose hairpin maybe I picked. Hairpin, Dave. Really? A crowbar? A crowbar! Okay, yeah, Dave's lost it. I threw my bag across the room and sat on the ground in a huff, having found nothing. My word, this hyena is a child. Benson? Weren't you on vacation? Oh my word, Dave, you idiot. Was it you who discovered the body, my boy? Huh? Oswin, I'm sure you'll no doubt tell me specifics to things I didn't witness happening as they took place, but I assure you I'm aware of what's transpired. You don't intend to go out there by yourself, do you? And if I am, then you're more of a fool than I thought. One fatality is bad enough, let alone multiple. What we need is a proper meeting about our options moving forward, and as there's increasingly more limited the longer we waste time. While there's only the 4 of us left, it's best we're all present. Dang, there are only 4 people left. Oh my word, I didn't even realize. Oh wait, no, Tyson's still alive. Never mind, we're all here, now what? Benson's back, Tyson's missing. Did Dave neglect to tell you what he discovered? Did he not tell you that the master of the house was found stabbed in his laboratory? There's a lab here? Stabbed? By who? Benson's fist tightened. He was keeping his cool, but only barely. Oh, this is not going to end well, and I am going to enjoy every moment of this. Memphis Noble has been his very mannered before, but there's no knowing if he's here now. He was meeting Oswin in regards to making a purchase, although Oswin promptly told him on no uncertain terms that his greed would not be stated. What was he wanting to buy? Medicine? Dave, shut up. The grown-ups are talking. No, the device that thus far has been keeping, well, that Dave has been interacting with. Oswin made it abundantly clear that it was not to be handed over to him. I mean, if this rabbit guy works for your dad, then you can't just call him off. I don't think my dad particularly cares what I want or if I end up just... In what way? Oh my word, Dave, will you... Go play with your crayons or something. So as we have it, there's a likely chance that we're still in danger, inclusive of Tyson, whom is still potentially in the woods breathing. I nodded slowly, turning to leave, but found a hand on my shoulder easing me back. Follow me around the other way if you will, Dave. Okay. The rest of the group left into the foyer where I followed Benson into the kitchen. The wall just opened up. I don't know how he did it, but he pushed me through and plunged us both in the darkness soon after. Oh, good. Well, that's where the kitchen one is. Squinting in the darkness, I wondered where we were, or where we were going. We shall not linger longer than we need to. Back to the lab we go, it seems. Oh, Thanatos, great. You're back. What information you got for us this time, buddy?
What do you want?
He sounded almost sad. Who killed Oswin, Thanatos?
It's too late to do anything about it. The vault is offline too, so unless you want to interrogate Junior there, you're wasting your time.
Oh.
Little Ratman say his prayers.
Shoot me.
Benson? No, Dave?
Let it happen. Let it happen. Go on, then. Shoot me. You should know that I can't die anyway.
What? Tell me this. Do you know who killed Oswin?
I can do you one better. You already know who did. I meant it when I said David would die here without knowing why. So I have nothing left to say to you.
As I opened my eyes, Thanatos was gone. I never liked that rat. Such an unnatural creature. Well, that was informative. Benson, is that sarcasm I smell? Come now, Dave, would you really make fun of an old grieving man? I didn't say anything. You didn't need to. Sorry, Dave, I think you read my thoughts. Dave, I'm not going to lie to you. Going into the woods is dangerous, even with me trying to keep you safe. There's a very real possibility that you may end up facing the end of the road. So please consider if it's really worth it. Okay, negotiation round 2. Just shoot him this time, Benson, please. If you have come for the bolt, then I suppose I have no other choice but to comply. What?
Great! You bring whatever you've got to, and we'll make the trade at the watermill.
Fine, but I'm not traipsing about in the dark like a fool, and you'll have what you come after in the morning. Benson, yeah, Dave, that's pretty much my thoughts exactly. What just happened? It's a small victory, Dave. One will take for now, all things considered. I have so many questions. Things are just... jeez. Man, I can't believe it. It's literally been a whole year since we got an update to this game. Look, this was the only month of the year I was going to be able to make that joke, okay? I couldn't think of anything else for an intro anyway. Okay, thinking, recap. Everything that's happened, road is blown up, everyone's alive. Yep, that's pretty much it that I can think of. Well, I slept, I wasn't resting. Every day seemed to have more questions rather than answers. How did it all connect? Why did I feel like I was the center of it all? Because you're the main character, Dave. That's why. Once I was up, I put on some clothes, assuming that what I needed was a walk to clear my head. You freaking serious? You're gonna go outside? Sighing out, I wandered towards the back door and placed my hands carefully on it to look out the window, and I could see Benson standing out in the middle of the back deck looking out into the woods. You're doing a poor job of being subtle, Dave. Well, not all of us are assassins, Benson, sorry. As expected, there hasn't been anything of note. Can't be too careful when what visitors you do have are those with a lot of money and power, with rarely the wisdom to know how to use either. I guess I'm kind of thankful that my family wasn't well off. I wouldn't say that. From what I understood, your mother had quite the salary and your father had a well-paying job as well. I guess that's true. So we're just ignoring the fact that Benson just happened to know who Carol and David were. Okay, sure. I almost jumped when I heard the door behind me shift.
What's this? Having a conversation at this hour?
How much danger do you think we're in? I do believe most of the situations Oswin has found himself in exclude all the bad ones I've circumvented him from even noticing.
I'm not a child.
Yes, you are, Az. And true to any other day, you put on your lab coat rather than walk around in your pajamas.
The day I take this off for good is the day I finally stop actively working on things. You understand, right, Dave? You wear that orange hooded sweater a fair bit, and I doubt you have more than one.
Oh, the orange hoodie is Tyson's. I figured that out a while back. Then I just looked at the pen messages and I understood.
I'm up now. Get some sleep, Benson. Chances are we're going to have quite a day ahead of us. You left an impression on me last we spoke. Would it help if I told you a secret? Perhaps what's behind the vault door?
No, it's not gonna be this easy. It can't be this easy. Probably not.
David, I will fight you!
Perhaps. But you might understand why I'm very much interested in keeping it out of his hands. Behind that door is my greatest work. And my greatest failure. A single dose vial of something that I never should have created. It's technically that very medicine, Dave, but tailored to one specific individual were they still able to take it. Alas, that time is long gone now.
Oh. That was a thing for... Oh. Okay. But if I need to die to protect it, then so be it.
You'd best get some sleep if you can. Trust that if you hear some gunshots, I'll have noticed our unwelcome guest on the property and given the proper greeting.
Okay, so the cure to save Reginald is stored in the vault. Sure, why not? Okay. What does that have to do with the resonance device, though?
So, how did everyone sleep last night?
Everyone's attention went to Dean, when no one replied.
That bad, huh?
Any luck with our phones? What happened with the landline idea?
The landline idea failed because there isn't one. Who am I going to want to contact? I have a cell phone, as does Benson.
When was that ever a plan?
That doesn't give us many options to finding any way to get away from the house.
Well, as it turns out, there's something else you could be searching for.
Really, Oz? Now's not the time for this.
The medals. I thought it was only meant to be a game.
Well, we found some at least.
Should pose enough of a thing to focus on to distract you from the dangers lurking in the woods. If not that, I have something else to offer.
Such as?
$1 million.
I'm sorry, what?
Too low? Make it 2 million then. Honestly, I don't care either way.
What the heck is going on? What is this? That's a lot of money.
I don't understand the issue. None of you are normal, so my offering partial...
I see the small one has chosen violence.
Roswell!
I don't think you have any right to judge me, mister. I'm throwing money at problems.
If you're offering money, then fine, we'll take it.
Haas, this is why you're my favorite character.
I'll take that as a yes.
We are now effectively being paid $2 million to find these stupid metals. Inside the vault is a vial that cured cancer for Reginald.
So many things are being added at this point, and none of them make any sense right now. You know, I really like the big brother relationship these two characters have. It just makes me happy.
It's moments like this that really make me worry, you know? It feels so nice, but at the same time, like the moment I get comfortable, something's going to come along and ruin it. So the hunting for metals isn't much of a distraction. We're not really hunting metals at all, are we? Yes, not. But what else is there to do? Well...
No, bad dog, bad. I literally just said no.
Fine.
Keep it in your pants, Ty. I expect that from Dean, not from you.
We should at least try and find the other half of this thing.
When we all gathered together for lunch, it was almost as if there wasn't a homicidal rabbit in the woods.
No one else seemed to have turned up anything else as far as the metals went either.
You know, now that I think about it, it's not gonna be possible to get all the metals probably, because at least one of them is way out in the middle of the woods in the river. And given Jack, that's likely not gonna be an option at any time soon.
I was just thinking about everything that happened up until this point, wondering what our next move should be.
He's starting to remind me of Roswell.
In what way?
He's been quizzing me a lot lately about what we should do as well. Question after question, the young boy takes after his mother for sure.
Takes after his mother, eh?
Okay, yeah, we'll leave that for now.
You're not fooling anyone anymore, Oz.
It's the thing behind the vault door. We can't let that get into the hands of someone bad because of what they could do with it. But if we destroyed it, then what's the risk?
Alas, I don't know the code to the door, so that plan is a failure from the get-go.
Okay, now I know you're lying. Okay, pause. Hi there, Editing Nice here. I did some research after I finished this update, and I was right in the last video to be questioning Oz. This is a bold-faced lie. Anyway, just wanted to let that know. Carry on.
Well, you don't, but Benson does.
That's a tad more complicated than I've let on, Dave.
You said if we found all the metals, we got what was on the other side.
Yes, and no, regrettably. I'm sorry to have to inform you that while I can ensure that you're allowed whatever's beyond the door should you find the metals, as of right now, the password eludes me as well.
Wait, so... What? My head started to hurt, and without realizing, I closed my eyes and clutched my temple.
Interesting. I worry that come to the month's end, your head is going to be hurting a lot more if you keep using the vault.
I could just be dehydrated. Oh my word, Dave, please.
If you wish for an injection, I can oblige.
Try and die, Oz.
But in lieu of Benson's disapproval, let me say that I imagine the vault's doing a number on your psyche. Remembering events from past iterations of the timeline, who knows what change that could have on you, or how lasting it may be.
That's enough, Oswald. He's not one of your lab rats.
You're killing me, Grizz.
It's a rat, Benson.
If you say so.
There's one theory that I've been introduced to, and I really don't want to believe it.
Although if it does turn out to be true, it means that I was right as distrusting Dean, I suppose. If we all got you the medals, what do you plan to do with them?
That's a complicated question.
Getting answers from these two is like banging my head against the wall. Oh my word.
He's got you there.
I have my orders in that should all the metals be found, I'm to prove it, and in turn I'll get the password for the vault door for essentially granting to whomever I choose.
I never gave you such orders.
This was one directive issued by your sister.
She's here?
The request from her came long before Dave and his friends arrived.
It's all coming together. This is what I said. This is part of the theory. I knew she was behind that. I called that. I called the metals.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go on head to bed then.
Dave, okay.
I was right.
I was freaking right. That Florencia was involved with the metals. Also, we're getting $2 million. So that's nice. Yeah, no, I'm gonna need more time for this. Oh my word. Okay, you know what? Let's go on to the B timeline.
One of my friends was a murderer, or at least that was the implication. It was someone Benson knew anyway. He flashed me a quick smile before looking back out into the woods with a sigh. You know who killed him, right? Thanatos wasn't lying.
I know who killed Oswin. I'm fairly certain upon seeing how he was killed. Because the person who killed Oswin, or at least who I accused of the deed, is now no longer a problem.
Benson, what did you do?
Do you remember how I said the most important thing to Oswin was family? Well, are you familiar with the relationship he and Florencia held?
Yes?
In any case, it doesn't much matter anymore, but what I can assure you is that the Oswin salient has been neutralized. You're not pleased with that explanation, I know.
What's behind the door? You know, right?
Behind the door is Oswin's greatest achievement, and his greatest failure. A second chance. One could say life, and be somewhat correct, although that's not entirely true. What I mean to say is that what Oswin hid from the world is something he dubbed the Water of Life.
Part of knowing what was behind the vault door had taken some of the mystery away, but at the same time I'd raised a bunch of questions that no longer could be answered.
6.5 hours later.
Benson wandered in at some point and seemed intent on keeping watch again. As he walked past, though, I noticed his expression seemed hollow. Benson?
I'm alright, my boy. What did you need?
I stepped closer and saw the dampness on his cheeks.
Come now, Dave. Leave me my dignity at very least. Very much not okay. My son is dead. He may not have been my son by blood, but he may not have realized what a familial tie he had. Reginald is gone. Now Oswin too. I do not know if I'm more terrified in informing Florencia of her brother's passing, or what her reaction may be.
Not to ruin the moment, but the fact you saying that is telling she was not the one you suspected and neutralized. Which worries me.
Dave, I'm sorry for everything that my family has done to you.
I don't understand, you haven't done anything.
Oh, how I wish that were true, my boy.
It was that same fragile smile as before, but he wore it all the same.
That was surprisingly moving for a spot with Benson. Didn't get me as bad as David, but still. I could tell we're on the cusp of getting a lot of answers, with probably even more questions. I think my theories are still on track, despite Chris constantly threatening them. But with so much going on now, and the metal's making a comeback for some reason, I can tell this is going to get very intricate very quickly.